So, hey folks, today I am here with Chandler Davis, the creative mind behind Chan and his camera. Welcome, Chan.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I've been checking it out, and now here I am.
Yes, here you are. And I'm so excited to talk to you. I really love creative people. And I feel like everyone has their own little creative spirit, but I'm a very visual person. And so pictures and drawings and things like that, just, I love it. But anyhow, I wanted to talk a bit about Chan and his camera and your inspiration behind it, like your journey to even picking up the camera in the first place, and all the things that you have going on and what you want to do in the future. So yeah, let's chat it up.
All right. Well, it's been a long road, I tell you that. I started out just as far as being an artist for all my life. I've been an artist as far back as I can remember. I used to like to draw. Coming up in school, I actually was going to go to school for art, but I realized real quickly that there wasn't no money like outside at the particular time. So I joined the military, and when I was in the military, I vividly remember this, going to, I was stationed in Germany, and I was going to London for a weekend, and we were on a ferry riding over to England, and I saw something called the White Cliffs of Dover, and it's pretty much like a mountainside, a long mountainside, and it's all like pure white. And I've never seen anything like it. And I still think to this day it's probably one of the most beautiful things I've seen with my eyes, natural.
Mhm.
And I could not explain to anyone what that looked like. I couldn't explain it. Didn't have the words to see what I saw that day. I don't know what it was that I saw, but as far as like if the light hit it a certain way or whatever, I just had a feeling inside, and I couldn't explain it to anyone else. So what I did, I went and I bought a camera. It was one of those, when you put the little disposable joints, you put it for an hour, and get it
Yeah.
back. I went and bought one of those on the ferry, and I started taking pictures of it. And then when I was in London, taking pictures of everything that I saw, I started documenting all my travels, and I fell in love with it. That was back in 1998. So I'm kind of a old young man. So I from that point I was hooked. I started just taking pictures of things just because I never thought about it as being a business until I saw what people were really paying for, and I was like, hey man, I can do that. Or I see something someone catches my eye and it looks crazy. I'm like, man, if they can sell that, I know good and well I can do it too. So that's actually what got me started. I bought my first professional camera probably about 10 years ago, and I started going hard since then. So it's been all about my photography. And the reason I named the channel this camera is because I do it pretty much. I did all of it by myself.
Yeah,
and
one man show.
So Chan and his camera, though, that's the team. Now the team's grown a little bit here and there, but that's still the basis of it right there.
Yeah. Well, I find that story that you tell about being in the military just because people that are blessed with being able to write and tell a story in that manner, like they could use words to describe what they saw. And I just love the fact that you started with a disposable camera for something that you found so beautiful. Do you remember? Like, do you even still have that picture?
I think that I do somewhere, but it's not on any kind of digital format. I still have the regular picture, and a lot of things that I had when as I was in the military, somehow all things get lost. But I do have a few shoe boxes of things left.
Well, hopefully that's still in there. I'd love to see it.
If I can find it, I'll get it for you.
Yeah. Well, then you said that you've always been creative and you wanted to go to art school. Like, what other types of did you do photography when you were thinking about going to art school?
Oh no, I used to draw a lot. So I was doing a lot of drawing, like cartoons, uh, drawing people, things of that nature. And it's just like I'm the only child, so I had to make everything like my own world.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida as the only child. I wouldn't say I was I was raised by a single parent, but hell, might as well have been because my dad was a crackhead. Or my stepdad, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like I didn't do much. I didn't have anywhere to go. We didn't have money or nothing like that. So I was always thinking of my own like stories. I couldn't afford comic books. So I
Mm-hmm.
made my own characters. Or if I watched cartoons or something, I would draw something to make my own cartoon, like make my own storyboard.
Yeah.
And it just that's one thing that really kept me going. Just when you have nothing but you, four walls, and you know what I mean, and pretty much nothing else. You have your imagination. Can no one take that away from you? So I just use my imagination as as my basis of my life.
And
You
I've
know,
seen some of your drawings, and they like that is the what you're talking about, like a storyboard and comic book. That's exactly what I see in it. Like, I see you are influenced a lot by music because I've seen
oh yeah,
pictures of drawings of Big Crit and of Prince, of Meg, and a whole host of other ones. But even the ones outside of the musicians, just I guess that's called lifestyle drawings. That's what I see the theme running through it, like comic book and storyboard. And that really resonates with me, because I feel like it is our culture, that's
yeah.
us. Um, but what other how does music influence you and your art?
Um, because like I get my vibes up to music. I just like to vibe out and I zone out. And when I'm in my zone, I think no one can take me there. And no one take me out of it until it's time for me just to, switch gears. But everything I do has a music vibe. When I'm doing my photography, I have my speaker with me. So, we catch a vibe. If we're doing a photo shoot, hey, what do you want to listen to? Let's get it. It's always about the setting. The music always sets my mood. And you can see I'm a big outcast person. So,
Yeah.
so it's like I like to make my space, my music, everything it just has that central thing to it. And I work better when I'm in a good mood. And I love I'm a bouncer. You see me, I get my own little box with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always got something playing in my head at all times. Talking
Right.
about how I was doing like the drawings of the musicians.
Hmm.
That's something that's coming soon. I'm doing a coloring book called No Face No Case. You
Oh,
know,
love it. Love
that's why
it.
you see the people with no faces on there. And I want to do adult coloring book or whomever can color it. I don't care. It's going to be a coloring book. And a lot of these things that you see me drawing now are they're like the backbone of what you're going to see coming in the future.
Oh yeah, that looks like a good one because some of the coloring books I find like the pieces are very intricate and like all these little swirlies and things like that. And so that's what I liked about yours. Like it's like more space. And I didn't know you were doing a coloring book, but I could see a lot of those images translating into that.
Well, no one knew pretty much until now.
Yeah, that's gonna
There
be
you go.
dope. That's gonna be dope. I can't wait. So, I described you as comic book and storyboards. Well, you described yourself as that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what other, how did you get to that point of view? Like, how did you learn that that's what works for Chandler and that's what I'm gonna focus
Um, it has really been like a work in progress. I hadn't been drawing in a long time. Excuse me, until the pandemic. Um, because I'll put all my focus into photography. I was always on the go, and now that the world stopped and I can't be on the go all the time, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, I can't take a picture of the wall. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I really sat back and I went back to what I know that never left me, that imagination. I think that I see things that other people don't see when they're looking at pictures. Whether I'm looking at a photo of you, I can see different colors, different shapes, different shadows, and things of that nature. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just draw that. Let me find something to get me back in my mode. And shit, I bought it. What's supposed to cuss on
on.
here?
It's okay. It's okay.
No, but I bought an iPad and I just said, let's get to it. And I haven't stopped since. I have not stopped. I had a lot of people help support me. as far as, hey, you can do this, or if something gets one like, you know what I'm saying, that's cool with me. But then once it starts to catch on, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So that's pretty much where it comes from.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So, you talked about listening to music to get yourself in the vibe.
Mhm.
And I know when you're shooting with people, like it's important to have a rapport and to make them feel comfortable so that you can get that fire shot and those dope pictures. So what is the experience with Chandler Davis like? Like how do you get your subject in the right vibe?
I think the first things first, before we even get to the point where I'm touching the camera, I want to make sure that I let you know that what experience that you and I have will be an experience that no one else has with me. You know, they're all unique experiences. I'm trying to be there for you to make sure I catch what you need for me to catch. You know what I mean? You say, hey, I want to do blah blah blah, and I'm gonna give you, okay, we can do this, and we can also make it. You know, I'm gonna put my own spin on it as well. But I would say the experience, you'll laugh. You know, you might be some awkward moments like, hey, turn this way, turn that way, or move your head, all that kind of stuff. But I want you to be naturally you. I don't ask anyone to come in and say, hey, I don't give you like, I want you to come wear yellow. I don't care about all that. I want you to come as you are. Come, you know, ready to shoot. If you feel yellow, bring it yellow. If you feel blue, let's get it. You know what I mean? So every experience is going to be tailored to each particular customer. But I can tell you one thing: every experience will be a dope experience because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, I hear you say that a lot, that you're good at what you do and that a shooter shoots. Like that's your key phrase, a shooter shoots.
So shooters shoot, shooters shoot, and I will keep shooting until I can't shoot no more.
So what other services do you offer? I know you do, what I know you from are events. And I know you work a lot with Tommy Collins and his events and some
Well,
other local.
working with them coming up soon too, in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, so before we go into what else you offer, you did mention the pandemic, and I did want to talk a bit about that and how you were able to pivot to make things work for you during that time. Because I can imagine as a photographer, and especially in the beginning when we were on lockdown and we didn't know what was going to happen, how were you able to navigate that?
It was really hard, but I can tell you, a year ago today, I was on my ass with COVID.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And I would say a life changing experience because it made me take a lot of things more serious than, you know, oh, it ain't gonna happen to me. It's just this, it's just that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so I can say that the way that um, how can I put it? I sat down. It set me down, and I had to sit down. And so the only way that I was able to keep going, I would just say, hey, let me look at my old stuff. So I was looking at my old pictures. How have I gotten better since then? And then I would take old things and I would re-edit the pictures to make it look like the work that I'm able to do now. I'm self-taught. I haven't went to anybody's school. I haven't took anyone's tutorial. I just get in there and I got at it and I just started learning. And I'm still learning to this day. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But the pivot was just, you got to sit down. This is serious, and I can't shoot anything or shoot anybody if I'm not here to do so. So I just took what was going on serious, and I just started working on my old things to see how sharp I can get. That's
I
pretty much
did
what I did.
I did see you talk about that, about fine tuning your skills and work, like you said, editing photos and just making yourself that much better. And I was not aware that you were self-taught. Um, so that's awesome. That is awesome. Like, what were some of the resources you used, or who were some of the photographers that you looked to as you were trying to teach yourself how to become better?
Well, I'm an old school type of like. Well, I wouldn't say old school. Maybe old. I'm old for sure. I don't know. But you remember the era of the Busta Rhymes videos and the Hype Williams videos and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I just I think that stood out to me so much of the creativity that was going on back then, and I was like, I wish everything would just look like this. You know, I want to make sure that when you look at my pictures or my photos, you don't see a person smiling. You see a full atmosphere. You see, like, you might catch that smile. That smile's glowing, but you can see that their skin tone is bright. You can see that their colors are popping. Like the background matches what's going on. Like I can make an atmosphere. I can make a picture come to life. And I even feel like right now, just talking about it makes me I can just see it and visualize everything. And but outside of the old Hype Williams videos, Bad Boy videos, and things like that, I was looking at a person that's more Ansel Adams is a guy that I looked at a lot, and also what's that dude's name? He does the alter ego shoots. I don't want to
yes, I don't know his name, but I know
Barry Banks, Blanks, something like that. One of the two. My bad if you're looking at this dude. I'm sorry. But he's doing his alter ego shoots, and that just showed me some of the creativity that can go along with photography. There's a lot of this regular art. Like I can't even name a lot of people, but people that I see on Instagram, I can just catch something and say, "Oh, that's dope," and then it pushes me. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I see something that's dope, and I think, "Oh my goodness, I did something like that," I'm trying to top that, and then I'm trying to top what I do. That is my biggest deal. I always try to outdo my last thing. And by doing that, puts so much pressure on myself. I don't know why I do it. But
because you want to be the best. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, so how has your shooting evolved with now iPhones and, well, I won't say just iPhones, but with these phone cameras that are now on the scene and they can take pretty good pictures and that type of thing. Like, how has your craft evolved?
Anyone can take a picture. Anyone that's listening, anyone that's doing whatever, but not everyone can take a photograph. You know what I mean?
I know that's
right. Of course, there are a lot of good phones out here that take great pictures. You know what I mean? But the experience of just if your job, let's say you take a beautiful selfie. You got a beautiful camera, good camera on your phone. You take a beautiful selfie. It's good. Now, what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to take one part of that out. Like, I'm taking your phone away from you because all you have to do with me is sit there and be pretty. Mm-hmm. Or sit there and do your thing. All you got to focus on, you don't got to focus on what right angle is. You got on my good side or my bad side. You don't got to worry about all that. When you're with me, all you do, get the vibe and sit there and smile. You know what I mean? Our mean mug. So one of the fellas like, you know what I'm saying? All you do is worry about how you want to present yourself. You present you and let me do the rest.
I got you. You got the angles, you got all of that. I love it. I love that. We had jumped back from talking about the type of services that you offer. We talked about events and local things like fashion shows and stuff like that. Mm. What other type of services?
Well, events were a big thing for me. I was doing a lot of concerts. I was actually one of Slick Rick's photographers for the last few years. I would go back and forth to New York, do things for him. I can remember doing Wu-Tang Clan when they were here, Redman's the only dude maybe like, damn, cool ass dude. You know what I'm saying? But Redman, I've even done 50 Cent, which wasn't that bad to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But concerts, weddings, corporate events, that's cool. I like doing those things. But my bread and butter, I think the best things that I'm at lifestyle photography. Basically, you come out, we go to a park, we go wherever we want to go, and you just be you. So I offer those type of packages. I do headshots, couples, babies, boudoir, whatever you want. You know what? Well, if you can be on the photo, I can do it.
You could do it. Well, I did see, at one point you were offering, like you were saying, to wherever people want to go, but there was a thing where you'd be like, hey, I'm going to be at this spot, at this time. If you want to take some pictures, just come down, let's do it. I thought that was such a dope idea. I love that. Like, are you still doing stuff like that? Well,
I haven't lately, you know what I mean? But I think that I'm going to start that again, probably sometime next month, since the weather's breaking, I don't think I ever stopped doing that. Hey, I'm going to be on U Street. Want to get pictures? They meet me here. You know what I mean? So I'm still going to do that. That's a good thing to do, because this helps raise my profile. Like, people say, who did that, or who's doing this, and all these times. That just helps get me out there. Being a transplant has been was something. I didn't know anybody. I didn't I didn't want to step on any toes. And I can tell you, one day I said, like I did it. This is how I started in DC. I came up and I was like, hey, I'm a photographer looking for people to collab with. And I put a picture up on Instagram. And one person reached out to me, and we've been rocking ever since. And like, it just helped open doors for me. It helped me meet other people, and I started networking. And now I got people calling me, say, hey, where you at? Let's do it.
Yeah, because I know you go out of town and whatnot. Like, you were over the past couple of weeks, I know you talked about Texas and Philly and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing your thing lately.
Yeah, I have it, but it has not been an easy grind. There's a lot of times I say, what the hell with this camera? Because, and to be honest with you, I can't quit because, like, I suffer from anxiety. And this camera I'm comfortable with. And there's been times where life has been so hard, like so hard you would not believe how hard life is for certain people. Because I try not to project it on people, but I can really say that I think photography saved my life. Like, this is more than a craft for me. This is more than something to do. This is like more than just like my livelihood. This makes me feel good. Yeah. And I think for me and for anybody else out there, you got to do what makes you feel good. The hell with whatever other people are doing. Do what makes you feel good. This camera, I tell you, it brought me so much joy. And I can't, I'm getting kind of emotional, but I'm trying not to. But you just don't understand. Like, when I was having family issues, my camera was right there. When I was having issues with money, I can figure out a way with my camera to make it. When I was just like, this is just like, life is just terrible, this sucks. You know what I mean? I can always turn back and go back to my bread and butter and find happiness again. So, so that I put my all into my work. Because of that, I'm not gonna have shoot anyone. I'm not gonna, this is easy money type anybody. I'm gonna give you my all 100% of the time. I promise you that.
And
because I believe in it.
Like, it makes sense that you feel this way, because when you first started talking about, how you got to starting with Chan and his camera, you were saying it's an expression of yourself, and it's so much so that it's a story that you're telling. And so this is your story. And so I can understand why it feels, why you feel that strongly about it and that emotional about it. And that's awesome, because I was going to ask you about a post that you did put up, and it was in August of last year. And that's basically what it said. It says, "Shooters shoot. Creating is my therapy. Creating is good for me. Creating saved my life. I will continue to create until the day I die." I was like, oh, that is so dope. Like, to hear you talk about your craft in that way. And then for me to then look at your work, and I'm like, yeah, I see it. I see where all of that is coming from.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you for that. Yeah, I will say it to you. I'll say it to anybody. I'll say that everyone has something that they do that they're good at, something that, that's dope to them. And one of my slogans, share your dope. Like, don't keep that to yourself. You see, it's behind me right here. Yeah. I write it. It's on my hashtags. Always share your dope. Share yourself and your happiness with the world, because you never know who it inspires. You never know who's who can just need a pick me up. You never know who it is. I thank you for letting me even get on here, because I've never talked to anyone about what I do, how I do it, or why I did it before. And I appreciate you for it.
Oh yes, of course. I'm so happy just to highlight y'all and all the good stuff that everyone's doing and sharing your dope work and your journey. like you said, we all are inspiring in our own ways. And so thank you for sharing your inspiring story, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.